Hello, this is my vlog. My name is Eric Normand, and I run a company called PF.tv where I teach closure, mostly in video and written form. And I like to document what I'm going through, things I'm working on, and um, things I'm thinking about, problems I have. Okay, so I've been editing the Closure Sync videos. That's where most of my time is being spent. It's actually rendering some right now. And then I've got 2 more to render after this. Got all the speaker photos in that I'll need to make the videos and to do the title cards for YouTube. And the transcripts are being done right now. I want to release them on a like an every 2-week cycle. Transcripts are really important for a couple of reasons. One, SEO. Another reason is some people don't hear so well, and so it's good to have some help for those people. And then third, the audio quality was pretty bad, so I feel like even people who can hear well are going to have trouble understanding. So just having the captions in there is going to help everybody. So I'm hopeful that these captions will come in. I've got one that's been being worked on for a while, and it's almost done. And once that one's done, I should have everything I need to publish it. I want to move the site over to. Oh, okay. So another thing about the publishing schedule. I'm trying to integrate it into the whole marketing thing because I feel like why not? Anytime you publish something, it's an opportunity to market a little bit. So I'm staggering them every 2 weeks, and that will end it about when it's time to start selling tickets. So it'll be a nice lead up into it. And of course, I've heard that you should always publish to your own site first, and then later, like a few months later, once all the links have come in, you can publish them on YouTube. Otherwise, you're going to get all the links to the YouTube video. And I've got a call today with one of the speakers who's also starting a company to do video hosting. And so I'm giving that company a shot on hosting these videos for the conference. And I think that'd be pretty cool. They're using Closure Stack, and it's someone I like, so that kind of thing. It all kind of connects up together. And so I have a call today with them to set that up, and we'll see how that works. If that doesn't work out, there's always something like Vimeo, which I was thinking about moving to anyway. The main reasons why I wouldn't do it are things that they're so new that there's a lot of features that they don't have yet. And the big one that I'm concerned about with these videos is the captions. But I believe that it can be done. They said that they're using a player that if you know how to configure it, you can set it up. And they're going after a non-technical audience for the videos, so they I think they just don't want to promise that they can do that because they won't have a good interface for it. But I don't mind digging into it and figuring that out. So I've been having some trouble with some videos that were recorded for my assistant, and I got them all done yesterday, and I just don't like this turnaround time where I record these videos and then he tries to watch them and he can't, and then I don't learn about it until the next day because he's in a different time zone. And then I can watch them, the way I think, and so then I ask him, well, how are you watching them? And then a day later I get an answer, oh, I'm trying on Dropbox, and that the player on Dropbox doesn't work. And, well, I think I need to have a talk with him about that, because the turnaround time is, I understand. He tries to watch them and it doesn't work, and he can't continue on it, but the idea is that there still should be other stuff he should work on, and there are things, like I shouldn't have to generate tasks all the time for him to do. He should be able to do that himself. And so we're going to talk about that at the next meeting. And yeah, just have stuff that he's in charge of, and that he takes care of without me even thinking about, which he's really good at. It's simply I haven't given him anything that he could actually start. And there's other things like, so I asked him in one of the videos that took 3 whole days for him to even be able to watch because of the way the audio was recorded. And he can't access the videos in Dropbox because he doesn't have a paid Dropbox account, and then the size of the videos is over his limit. So for some reason he can't even look at them, and so I just got fed up, and I'm like, I'm spending so much time trying to get this system where he can do the transcripts for me, which, in theory I should be able to record a 2-minute video. Please do transcripts of these things. Here's how to do them and how I want them. And then I wake up the next day and they're all submitted, right? So it should be like my 2 minutes, and he spends however an hour doing it. But at this point it's been like me spending 3 hours, him, I don't know how much time he spent, but not accomplishing it. And so then I just did it, and it took me 20 minutes, So there's things like that can get really frustrating. He's in a different country with different internet access, and big files are hard even on my end, right? So like often I want him to do something, but then I think even me uploading the file, telling him what I want, having him download it, work on the thing, upload it again, then I don't, like when you're talking about a file that's a gig, like you start to get into these issues where the bandwidth just for transferring it becomes a bottleneck and a time sink. And that's in addition to any other problems you might have, like, he doesn't have the right software or something, and I didn't think of that, and so then I need to figure out a way for him to get that software. And sometimes it's easier to just do it, And so there you go. A lot of these things I don't know. If he were sitting here with me, I could just sit down and see what he's doing, and like sometimes I think he's just missing like one little thing, in his process. Like, oh, if you click this, like everything's fine. It'll be easy. But then I can't tell because he's in another country. So, these are things that we have to learn about each other, and I think in the end things do get more efficient, but it usually pays off the most for totally batch work. So when I say batch, I mean something where he can repeat the same thing over and over, so it's worth the learning curve for him to figure out how to do it. And then it just feels really nice because he's taking it all off of my plate. And yeah, the other thing is I do want him to get a little better at pushing back and asking me for stuff. Um, like, like, I want him to. I've got three things that I'm going to talk with him about the next meeting, and one of them is running the next sale. So I sell the course individually. I do like a pre-launch sale, and I do a post and a launch sale. And the thing is, it requires a lot of emails that I write. It requires maybe coordination on my end with, like, there's a bunch of little things. I would like him to learn how to run it, but I am still going to write the emails, right? So I want him to ask me, here are 3 emails you need to write. That's what I want it to happen. And then he can, like, instead of me telling him, okay, I've written these 3 emails, do this X, Y, Z to them, I want him to say, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and, like, just a heads up, I'm going to need these by Friday to be able to launch it. So that's something I want him to start doing more of, is not me being controlling him, but him demanding stuff from me, because he's got the responsibility and the authority. A little bit less of, oh, I can't work on this, I can't do it, something broke or something. Like, that's your job. that's what I want to tell him. Like, you figure out what you need me to do, right? If you need me to buy you a piece of software, if you need X or Y or Z, if you need me to upgrade your Dropbox, tell me, because I shouldn't be the one doing that, like coming up with a solution. So we're going to talk about that. Oh man, there was something that I wanted to mention, but I didn't write it down, that we just talked about. It'll come to me. So I've got a bunch of stuff on my plate right now, and I feel disorganized. I mean, my desk is a mess. My office is a mess. A lot of the mess is left over from just rushing at Closure Sync, like during the prep for Closure Sync. Still haven't gotten around to cleaning it up. Excuse me while I write something down. This is kind of important. Yeah, I set up a thing, I think I mentioned this, where it'll take the YouTube videos and automatically make a WordPress post and start the transcripts. I tried to figure out how to get the transcripts out automatically, but I didn't succeed. I may need to figure something like that out. I want stuff to be automated before I delegate it. I wish that I could just pay someone to be like a handyman programmer, handy person, where I'm just like, hey, I need a script to do this. Can you figure out how to do it? MJ, my assistant, is not that kind of person. He's not a programmer. So I'm not going to be able to get him to do that. And I also feel like it's not something that I'm generating quite enough tasks to have someone do full time, and it'd be kind of a, I don't know. I should see if someone's willing to do stuff like that, because like it's almost the kind of thing where it's so few things that having a volunteer do it is better, because they're not making money, and so they're not really counting it that way. They're thinking of it more like learning experience, sort of like a free unpaid internship. Um, and maybe I could trade something else for it, like they write code in Clojure and then I review it, and that would be their payment, is the reviewing, and um, something like that. Because if I paid them, it would be like, here, you want a $20 task, you want a $200 task here, $200 task there. Like, they wouldn't be able to make a living doing that, and um, I don't know. They'd also probably not value it enough to return it in a timely manner. So we'll see. Oh, there's a call I need to do. Um, Someone submitted a form. I have on my site a form for a team. If the team wants to, um, if you want to do a team plan, you can sign up right away, just buy it with a credit card. But some people want to talk about it first. So I need to call this guy. He submitted the form a few days ago, and that's, it's a possible $5,000 a year. His 10-person team, and so that's important. Let me see. Yeah, I'm just cleaning out some old emails here. Oh, I gotta do my taxes. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna work on today. I need to get these tasks off my plate, because they're kind of urgent. They're very important to doing your taxes. So they're kind of on my mind all the time. And now that I've got these Clojure Sync videos nearly done, they're just like waiting now for the render. I should do the taxes, get that off my plate. Yeah. Anyway, this has been a boring one. Sorry for this, a little ranty, rambly, and not very actionable. But that's how it goes sometimes. Kind of foggy and don't know what you're working on and what's the most important thing. So, thanks so much. Smash all the buttons and come back.